rough, but we have a job to do on our end when we see them spiraling out of control and heading towards that type of crash. That's basically what they're heading to. It's like I said before in our previous episode, we wouldn't send the kids out there on the interstate their first time driving alone and tell them, hey, this one's for stop and this one's for go. This is sitting like, and when you want to go fast, you just hit this one real hard. All right, we know they're gonna crash. We wouldn't send them out there like that. When we driving along with them, we see them doing something crazy in their car. What do we do? Don't do that. Stop, hit your brakes. Nope, you're going too fast. We give them instruction along the way, right? We tell them, and we're so adamant about it because we know that vehicle can equal life or death for everybody in it or just them and somebody else. This ain't no different. We send them out there every day and we letting them do this stuff. We don't say nothing. No, don't do it like this, son. No, that ain't cool. Nuh-uh, stop. Now you moving too fast. We don't tell them none of that like we would if we was in our car. We value that car, right? That car costs a lot of money. We don't want them to wreck it, and then we don't want them to hurt themselves. But you're going to let them crash out, and you can't pay for them. Ain't no amount of money. Elga know a lot of rich people. I do too. When they had deaths in their family, I ain't never seen one of them buy their family member back. Can't happen. You can't replace that. You replace a car all day, you got insurance on. You put insurance on your loved one, you'll get a check. You ain't gonna get them back. Right? Ain't no bringing them back.
Welcome to the Ep Cypher. Flow harder than the hands on Peter Piper. And now we would like to introduce you to your rivals. It's like Ali and Tyson. The hook mixed with the liking. So nothing, Mr. Bison, Maximus and Leonidas. You were in the booth with Titans, goons, goblins, and Vikings. It ain't really nothing like us.
Hey, this is the L.I.T Code. We back at it again. You got your guy, you got me, we back at this is the L.I.T Code. We back at it again. I'm Megan Jones, we got Courtney Anderson on. Yeah, we back at it again. So proceed, my brother, what you was talking about.
Yeah, so first of all, shout out to everybody. As always, for watching, for keeping up with us. I know it's been a while. By the time y'all see this, I guess we've had a 2 or 3 week break, trying to regroup, get a new outlook on how we're going to approach the new season. So we thank y'all for watching, for catching up with some of the old episodes. Anybody that's reached out asking about new episodes, we appreciate y'all for being eager. We're just gonna try to make it a little better for everybody. Continue to evolve because that's the focus. Before my buddy that introduced us so swiftly, we were having a conversation about some of the things that are going on back home and around the world, for that matter, in Black America with our youth, as far as them being so willing to take things to that step. What used to be the last step of or unheard of step for us coming up is the first step for them now, and that's gun violence, right? So we were just talking about how we used to fight at practice, we fight at school, and right back at practice with each other the next day, right? We gotta patch it up and make it happen because we really live with each other. Actually, if you think about it, when we were in school, we spent more time with each other than we did our parents, really. You know what I'm saying? So, and anybody know anything, we gonna fight. People gonna fight. Egg and I don't know how many fights we had. I'm sure we had plenty. Our cousin Stephen, Dr. Stephen Hayes, that was on the last episode of the first season. I can't even count how many fights we had, but it was always okay. I never wanted to shoot either one of them. You know what I'm saying? I never wanted to kill them or take their lives because we valued each other's life. And we didn't have access to so much content showing us that was the way you handle things. Which now, the music they listen to, stuff you can see on YouTube. You can actually see people being shot and killed. Rest in peace to D, which is one of our old coaches, Sean Logan. His son was killed last weekend, well, earlier this week at a homecoming festivity for Gremlin. Sean also lost a daughter earlier this year to gun violence, right? I can't imagine what that feels like, but I can tell you that it's a reason why these kids think that that's the thing to do. And like I said before, is they have access to it. In Sean's son's case, the video's been circulating, so we actually got to see the video of it actually happening. Fight breaking out. You see the guy kind of remove himself from the crowd. Aim, you hear the shots go off. Camera drops, you hear the people screaming, right? What I'm saying is you can see that though. So if I let my son see that, to me it's shocking and it's hurtful. Because even if I didn't know, I know they kids, right? To my son who don't know no better though, just a regular old YouTube video. So if he sees that and he becomes desensitized to it over time, and then he's listening to certain things and watching certain things that are telling him, hey, this is how you handle it, this is how you handle it, this is how you handle it, playing games that show you this is how you handle it, then to him, it's gonna be normal. To us outside looking in, we shocked. Man, what they thinking, to them, they like, hey man, this is what we do now. No different from when we started sagging. When 50 Cent came out, he had the do-rag, fitted cap, right? Everybody wanted the big earrings, the muscle shirt. Just like something else to do. Well, the cats that are out now, the cats in the music industry that are in front of our kids that are quote unquote popping, well, they wear the little jeans with the big shoes, and most of the time in the picture, what you see tucked off in the waistband is a gun with a clip on it this big. Everybody point guns at the camera, talking about walking each other down. What I do, I blick this, blick that. So that's what they think they're supposed to do. That's what's in. That's their influencers, not us. I mean, they don't. Media's not gonna parade us around in front of them, right? We live old. We old boring men. You know what I'm saying? It's trying to live. So the stuff we're allowing them to see, or the stuff they have access to, if we're not giving them, if we're not fighting back against it as hard as they're fighting to push it in front of them, we'll be stuck in this season that we're in for a while. But it is just a season, right? And that's kind of where I wanted to tackle today, Edgar, is the fact that seasons exist, right? So in the world we live in, our seasons are set, right? We have 4 of them. The chronological order set. You have spring, which yields itself to summer, which yields to fall, which yields to the winter. And then winter will yield to spring again, and it continues to repeat itself. I'm big on energy and believing that we're connected to the universe. So I feel like it's the same for us. We go in and out of seasons in life. We're in a harsh one right now. Back home, as far as what these youth are, and around the world, as far as what these youth are doing, but it is a season. It's going to yield itself to something. The great thing about being a human or a connection of God is we have the ability to adapt, right? When it's when it's summertime, right, we don't wear as much clothing. We throw on some shorts and a t-shirt, we out the door. Fall, it starts to cool off a little bit. You'll see us in windbreakers and light jackets. Wintertime, we know to bundle up, right? Get inside, turn some heat on, right? We have all the stuff set up to adapt. We have temperature control devices, AC, heat, right? Clothing again, houses a certain way, certain tire we put on our vehicles up here where it's snowing at when it starts to snow, right? You have infrastructure set up to handle that. Salt trucks will be out. We have all this stuff so we can always adapt. That's the beauty of being human, adaptability, right? Geese, Wintertime, they gotta fly south. It's the instinct. They don't have no choice. That's what they're gonna do. Humans, we don't have to go nowhere. We just gotta adjust, bundle up accordingly, right? So I feel like once we understand that, once we know the seasons are coming, no matter what, and we know that we can adapt, we can handle stuff a little better. This situation here with the gun violence, I can't say I know exactly how we're gonna adapt, but I do know we've adapted to things just as bad in the past, right? We adapted to slavery, the release, the abolition of, we adapted to the Jim Crow era. We've adapted to the crack era somehow. We've been through things before. My thing is, I think it's up to us, me, you, the elders, to call certain stuff out, right? On Roger Timber's episode, I talked about my godmother, Miss Thelma Peller, rest in peace. Egg, I know you remember, we used to have vacation Bible school. Some of the dudes we thought were the roughest, toughest dudes ever. If they walked down that sidewalk, right, and they saw Miss Peller, Miss Rebecca, Miss Plain, right? I don't care if they walking down, smoking, sagging, whatever. You see them start to pull their pants up, try to get themselves together, put out whatever they had, right? Because Miss Rebecca and my godmama gonna walk right up on them. Baby, what y'all out here doing? Y'all not smoking. Y'all pull them pants up on you. Y'all come on in here to Bible school. No, man, we gotta go such and such. Now, who your parents, baby? They'll tell them. They'll let them know that they know their whole family tree, and they'll pull them on in anyway. You ain't really have a choice. They saw you doing wrong, they correct you. They wasn't scared to do so. So the younger parents, when somebody is trying to correct your child, the thing you're gonna have to do is stop upholding them in some of the stuff that you think's cool and cute. I don't think enough of our generation knows what age we are now. I'm about to be 35. What you going on? It's coming up December the 1st.
37 though.
37.
37
we are not
coming in hot, bro.
We are not children anymore. You know what I'm saying? We are parents. The cats we used to look at and say, man, hey man, them boys got old. That's us now. You know what I'm saying? And we have to understand that, and we have to step up to the plate and be what we are. Until we start doing that, it won't get better. We won't get out of the season. But that's what it's gonna take. We're gonna have to start taking back over, taking our communities back, teaching these kids another way, and trying to get out of this season, man. Get into another one. That's really all I got to start off with, man. I hate it. My heart hurts. You know how I feel about the youth. You know how I feel about Raven itself. We don't have enough people. You know what I'm saying? We don't have enough people by population. We don't have enough people to lose 5 and 6 youngsters a year. We just don't. It ain't that many of us there. 5,000 people total. That's total. White, black, Hispanic, whatever. We may make up half of that. Our children might make up 40% of that. So if they keep dying 10 years from now, when they're supposed to be our age, what we gonna have? We have a whole generational gap missing due to gun violence, because every time one gets killed, somebody got to go to jail for that. So we lose 2 or more every time. So I just want to get out of this season, man.
You said a mouthful, bro. You said a mouthful. Man, first, my condolences go to Logan and his family on the loss of a child and the loss of a son. I hate that when I found out about it, that was, something I was looking forward to hearing about. And I kind of feel like it's kind of being rhetorical when I'm getting phone calls now about youngsters getting shot back home, getting killed back home. And so my condolences go to Logan and his family. And it's kind of, I got a question for you, Courtney. I get to the question. later on, but I'm gonna read a statistic for our viewers that's listening. Um, and this statistics was written by USA Today. It says young black man and teens made up more than a third of firearm homicide victims in the USA in 2019. One of the several disparities revealed in a review of gun mortality data released Tuesday by the Center of Disease Control and Prevention. An analysis titled "A Public Health Crisis in Making" found that although black men and boys ages 15 and 34 make up just 2% of the nation's population, black men and boys ages 15 to 34 make up 2% of the nation's population. They were among 37% of gun homicides last year. That's 20 times higher than a white male of the same age group. All of the reported firearm homicides in 2019, more than half of the victims were black men, according to the study spearheaded by the Educational Fund to Stop Gun Violence and the Coalition to Stop Gun Violence. 63% of male victims were black. The contrast is even more stark when the rates were compared with white people. Across all ages, black men were nearly 14 times more likely to die in a firearm homicide than white men, and 8 times more likely to die in a firearm homicide than the general population, including women. Man, that right there is just mind-blowing. I mean, all of it is, but when it said that 15 black men and boys ages 15 to 34 make up just 2% of the nation's population, and they were among 37% of gun homicides this year. Pretty much what it's saying and what's been happening, not just with this article, it's saying what's been happening, not just in my hometown, but really all around the country, is that we're losing our young black man at a more rapid pace than we ever have before due to gun violence. And you always got to try to go to, what's the why behind it? Why did it start? We always said there's always got a why to it. And what's the why that's playing a factor into these crimes being committed and these senseless crimes, man. And a lot of times, you hear about the incidents that's happening is all about, oh, we beefing about this. Oh, all right, what y'all beefing about? It's really no answer to that. Or he said something about me, or he posted something on social media about me. And if that's the action that's taken into place now when it comes to cats just saying things about each other, or so-called having a beef with each other. I'm gonna digress and go back for a sec. Court, you talked about the elders back at home. And right now, a lot of them are either just at a point where they're old and there's nothing else they really can do, or their voice doesn't even really, most kids are not really going to listen to what they got to say, even though they still got an abundance of wisdom. A lot of kids just ain't going to listen to that. The other thing is, if they are present still around, then you have the other side of it, is that some of them are already dead and gone now. So really, when you made that comment about, we are up next. We like the uncles and the elders, that the young cats look at them like, oh, that's such and such. That's, that's, Courtney, or that's such and such, whatever, right? Because we're now in their role. And man, I think a lot of times you be seeing these youngsters do this. This is just an outcry because so much pent up inside. You know what I'm saying? So much pent up inside that they've dealt with as kids, so much pent up inside they're dealing with in their personal life. Maybe from a lack of not having parents in the house and not having your old man in the house. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of different factors that go into why they do what they do. But I think there's something to be said about the importance of male figures being a part of these youngsters' lives, And I'm gonna be honest with you. The fact of the matter is, you're not gonna be able to capture them all. You just not. That's one thing I learned about you know, when I used to go out and public speak is that you go speak to a crowd of, you know, 200, 250 people. Everybody not going to get that message, you know, but if two people get it or three people, let's say five people out of 250, or let's say 25, well, that's 10%, you know, out of 250 of individuals there. So those 25 individuals could not have the impact to go impact, you know, 100, 150, or 200. So my point with all this is that I think there's a big part that's missing of male role models. And I know there's some cats that's really trying right now, that's trying to figure out ways on how to get this done. I'm actually interested in learning how I can help with this, um, who I can sit down and talk with, um, to try to figure out how we can start to put, I'm not gonna say a pause on this, but just to limit all these things that's happening, these senseless killings that's happening. Because you said it, Court, like we ain't got a lot of youngsters around there. So, you know, 5 or 6, 7, dude, you start losing like that. That starts adding up very, very fast. And two, my concern is because of just the 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 impulsive decision to say you about to pull a gun out and shoot somebody because of what they said or what they posted and what they did. Who's gonna be on the backside of it that's gonna kiss that round? You know what I'm saying? That ain't got nothing to do with nothing because of some issue that you have with somebody else across the street or down the block. And that's my concern and why I feel like it's starting to head. And honestly, if we want to look at it from a whole nother point of because history has showed, right, when it came to slavery, when it came to our people being oppressed, um, history has showed that, you know, the white man has done a good job at oppressing our people at times. I mean, just go back and look at slavery times, right? You can see that vividly in front of you. But when you look at things that's happening like this, man, why would I try to take you out if y'all gonna take yourselves out? You know what I'm saying? Like it's like let them get in their own circle, put them in a room together. They all gonna kill themselves. You know what I'm saying? I say that to say that they're gonna kill each other. I said it to say that, man, it has to be some type of change. I don't have the answers right now. I'm not gonna sit and act like I got all the answers, but I know you got to have a foundation of having some male figures in some youngsters' life. And then I personally feel like a big part of why a lot of times this happens or the action is carried out to go shoot somebody or go shoot another kid that you beefing with is one because of the music, man. I feel like I be repeating myself over and over and over again. And I mean, just play the music, dude. Just play the music and just listen to what they say. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be careful with that because you're basically repeating all these lyrics that's being said. So now what starts to happen is that, you know, you get into an issue with somebody, and the first thing you think about a song when somebody said they had an issue with somebody else, and the next thing they wouldn't do is you got a chopper. You know, like there's no other type of way for you to deal with it other than that. That's the route you can go, rather than just being like, all right, man, let's sit down and talk about this. Or better yet, I ain't condoning fighting all the time, but I do remember when we would fight, and that's just what it was. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I feel like I'm kind of repeating myself on a couple things. But the music, man, plays a big part. Man, there was a song I was in the truck. Usually I don't listen to the radio, but sometimes I get in my truck, the radio station will be playing, and there was a song that came on, man, and the beat was so nasty that I was just bobbing to it. But then when I listened to what old boy was saying, I was like, and then the crazy thing about it was my son was in the back seat in the car seat, he too. And I turned around and he was bobbing his head. You know what I'm saying? Like he was bobbing his head, not really understanding anything about what the lyrics were saying. But though I could understand, it was basically who won't smoke. Barnardo Wick, and that's all he was on. That's all he was rapping about. And that was all he was talking about. So to me, right, when if it has an influence on me, and maybe, you know, 2 minutes, I think the song was, what I actually just said, you know what, I'm finna take the time to listen to it. Like, man, I can only imagine if that's what you listen to all the time. That just starts becoming your world and your thinking and how you feel like you need to start going about doing stuff. So, man, I don't know, man. It's just sad, dude. You know, because a lot of these kids just some good kids, man. Really solid kids. That's a lot of them just want better. You know what I'm saying? They want better than what they got to deal with on a day-to-day basis. I feel like a large part of it, some part plays into it too, is that, you know, when you go back home, there ain't a lot to do, man. There's not a lot to do at all. So that plays a big part into it as well. But could I go ahead and let you just kind of take, because I know you got some things to say.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's interesting that you mentioned your son bobbing his head to that beat, right? Or you feeling that beat. First of all, we're musical creatures by nature. We learn to wake up by the rooster crowing or by birds chirping, right? We know the sun's usually out by then. Or at night, it may sound soothing to hear crickets chirping. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you like to just sit out at night and listen to that, or ride listening to the wind. As Black people, we've always been musical, tribal people. People of color always been musical, tribal people. We don't put enough stock into how much power chanting and imagery has over us, right? Historically, a chant can move you, right? Think about Florida State coming up when they play dun 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, everybody in the stand doing the chop, doing the way, that's energy, right? Think about how you learned your ABCs. A song.
Yeah.
That's how you remember. I remember we learned the preamble in Mr. Freeze class, the whole Constitution, by singing it. They had a song out, and that's how we learned it. Me, myself, being a big music head my whole life, that's my secret to testing well. I'm gonna always make a song out of notes, right? Or I take letters out of one word, and then I make some kind of little rap or two, right? So I'm saying all that to say, if that's how we learn when we're younger, most of the stuff we learn when we're younger, we learn it through nursery rhymes, through songs. That's how they teach it to us. We'll catch it better that way, right? Why don't we think that it still works the same way the older we get, right? And if we learn by music more so when we're younger, then why do we think it's okay to let our 6 or 7-year-olds or 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds listen to some of the stuff that we just talked about, the young boys, the old NLE chopper stuff? Well, they learning. And then you got access to see it, the imagery part, where they hearing this, giving instruction, right? And now they seeing it, watching it. So you got somebody telling me the instructions. Now I got a visual. We learn by hearing and visually. So I hear it, I see it. What's next? To do it, right? That's what you got. No matter how you want to toss it down, toss it up and look at it. I don't care if you are the churchiest person in the world. You go to a club and you hear certain songs, it immediately invokes some kind of feeling on you. Most of the time it's a good feeling, right? Same way, if you just super thug and you go in church and you got the right people playing and singing, it's gonna move you. Either way, it moves you. I don't think we put enough stock into that. And we have to realize that that's scientific. The elite in the world that run things, they know that, right? And it gets amplified when you're what? Drunk or high. In the songs, they tell you get drunk or get high as you can get. Now listen to me why you drunk and high. Now you hear every little instrument. Now you zoned in on the words he's saying. Kodak just dropped a song that says, I tried a sample of that meth and I liked it. You know how many kids? Kodak Black. You know how many kids listen to and follow Kodak Black? A sample of that meth. Now, I'll be the first to tell you, when I was growing up from a young age, I smoked a lot of Reggie. That was our thing to do, was smoke a little, drink a little. Wasn't none of the rappers back then telling us to try no meth. I can tell you that. But if kids listen to that and think that that's cool and okay, then guess what? They're gonna start trying that. But it's more scientific than you think. The ghettos were created. Crack was introduced to us. Black men killed each other and went to jail for long periods of time, made them absent from the home. More kids grew up more easily influenced because their male figure wasn't in the home. Now, we're more of an asset. They're controlling the population, but we're also an asset to them. We're killing each other. So a lot of people get paid. We don't own much. Some of us own funeral homes, so we get paid from that. The hospitals get paid. The law get paid. The lawyers get paid. The DA get paid, right? The record companies get paid more because they're gonna push these cats out in front of you. We're gonna make them famous, right? The jewelers in the area, they happy to see us coming, right? The local pharmacists happy to see us coming because we need our Watt and our Trish and all this other stuff. The weed is now legalized in certain spots. So we get to argue over who's smoking the hardest strains. Most of the time you can't get certain strains just off the street. So you're gonna go to the new suppliers, right? Who most of them don't look like us. Some of them do, but most of them don't. Yeah. Now they happy to see you coming, right? Everybody getting paid off you, right? They getting paid off this chaos. The news reporters gonna get paid. We giving them jobs, right? It was another shooting in Grambling last night, like 6 people hit or whatever. Most of the people I saw out there helping them, sheriff's deputies. They ain't look like us, right? They getting overtime. They getting paid to come out to help clean you up, right? Get you off to try to save your life. When they take you to the hospital, the doctor that saved your life, he gonna make a lot of money. Now, he might hate it, but subconsciously, he don't know. He getting paid every time. Somebody's getting paid off our demise. But you said it earlier, why do they have to oppress us? Well, they don't at this point. It's like any other good business, right? We go into business tomorrow, selling tomatoes. Once we get big enough, now we might start out in the field, right? We might start out actually planting the tomatoes, tilling the ground, putting the pesticides out, picking the tomatoes ourselves, right? We might start out like that, but the goal is to get to where we've hired enough people to where this thing's on autopilot. So all we gotta do is sit back, right? Somebody walk up to us with a report and tell us how it's going and tell us what we netted for the year or what we lost, but we won't be in the thick of it no more. We can step back. That's where it's at now. It's on autopilot, right? Our kids watch DJ Academics. He does this thing on drill rap all the time. He's helped push this drill rap scene out of Chicago. And a lot of these kids are trying to live up to that. The crazy thing is this type of stuff's been happening in big cities for a long time. It's getting to small town America though, rural South. The Ravens, the Monroes, the Winsboroughs, the Bastros, right? Those that I just named, Raven, Monroe, Winsboro, Bastrop, Tallulah, Lake Providence. Give me another one, Ruston. We got another, Vidal, back. Put all them together, you still don't have more people than they got sitting right in the hood of Chicago or LA or New York. New York got project houses with more people than I just named in all those little towns, right? So the stuff that's been happening with them, just by sheer population, they can stand it. That's why they still here. We got between Ravel and Delhi, about 7,500 people total between the two. It's all races included. Maybe half of them black, maybe even less. You read the numbers off earlier, right? That age group only make up 2% of the population everywhere. So imagine what it make up in our little spot. So if we keep knocking each other off at the rate they're getting knocked off, it won't be none left. We don't have enough people. We don't have enough manpower to survive that kind of war that we put ourselves in with each other. And again, you can't tell me what the beef is. Whatever it is I bet it wasn't nothing worth nobody's life. What somebody say about you, he from over there. Right? Did he come in your house and slap your mama and take some money out the house? Certain stuff I shoot somebody for, right? The other thing, some people would try to throw up these things where white people have guns too. They do. And most of the white people I know, they have the guns you think you got. They got way more than that. Will you see them just sitting around flashing them? No, because they have them for home defense for one, and then the hunt. They don't have them because they hoping they get to walk somebody down today and shoot them. I hope somebody say something to me today. Most of the youngsters we've been around, because a lot of youngsters look up to us back home. Every single time y'all been around me or this man, you've been around 5 to 6 guns. Every time, I guarantee. Y'all ain't never seen me up none one of them. You never seen him pull one out. You sat on top of them before in the truck. If you rode in the well with us, they been there. Only for protection. I'm not hoping that I gotta kill anybody. You know what I'm saying? They're there for protection, not for me to take pictures with. Because for one, let's say we are ops, quote unquote, and I go on your social media page, and every time I see you, you got these big old guns out, right? You always got it on you. I'm gonna assume automatically now, since we ops and we into it, I'm probably gonna have to kill you if we see each other. Because you're showing me what you got. You pose a threat now. Other thing I want y'all to understand, the police literally have pages on social media, like literally. They not hiding. It literally says Richland Parish Sheriff's Department, right? And then the officers literally have pages in uniform. They showing y'all. What makes you think that all the stuff y'all do goes unseen to them? Right? And then you'll be hollering, oh, somebody snitched. Any little thing you do outside the walls of your home now, and even in your home, because you don't watch your kids, they recording you. It's gonna be recorded. It's on tape, guaranteed. Somebody gonna have it on their phone. So y'all are making these stupid decisions to do this stupid stuff right out in the open, and it's stuff that cannot be undone. Once you pull that trigger and kill somebody, there ain't no, you're not gonna respawn. This is not a video game. You don't just drop back in. That's not how it happens. Once your homeboy gone, he gone. I know it's hurtful when it happens, but one thing we do, all of us, I've been guilty of before too. Oh, he a little hit. Oh, he a gangster for real. Yeah, man, he tough. That little joker there, he don't play. We kind of glorifying some of it, right? And we see pictures, we like it. We hear the songs they make, we like them, share them. And then once we get news like we got the other day, I just don't know why. They didn't seem like they was, hey man, stop doing it. Like, come on now. We see the trends, the signs are there. It just walks its way on, just like those seasons I talked about earlier, right? If you always point guns at cameras, you had a couple shootouts, you pulled a couple guns on somebody, sooner or later somebody getting shot, somebody getting killed, somebody going to jail. that's the Our Kids Love Young Boy and Fredo, right? Young Boys Camp, and you got TBG out in Baton Rouge. Fredo's hot right now. Remember G Money? G Money, he was with a girl that's from our area, John James' daughter, right? G Money got killed behind this rap beef. Boulevard got killed behind this rap beef. A lot of young boy side got killed behind this rap beef. Fredo was in jail when G Money got killed, got out. Young boy stayed in and out of jail. His camp in jail, dead. So these are the people you following, but they also giving you the blueprint. This is what happens and what comes with it. Somebody dying, somebody going to jail, but you still want to follow, right? You don't want to be sitting in jail on year 10 and realize, damn, man, I got tricked. I probably should have listened to what I should have went on stage in school and played ball. I should have went and started working on the pipeline. I should have got my welding license. I should have drove trucks. I should have been a square. There's nothing wrong with being a square. Most of the time, being a square leads to longevity. This new lifestyle we playing with now, what was that age group? 15 to 35, you said?
No, 15 to 34.
15 to 34. That ain't old. All right, that is not old. I really think we've probably, between the two of us, we've probably lost more people around our age group than our parents have lost coming up, and our parents in their 60s, right? Their classmates and stuff dying now. You know what I'm saying? A lot of ours and the ones under us dying now too. But the age gap is different, way different. We gotta wake up and realize all this stuff, man. And like Edgar said, we the elders now. If you condoning, if you listening to some of this stuff, experiment. It's just like with diet, and I won't say it's completely healthy to go cold turkey right now, because your body gonna go through certain stuff, withdrawals and stuff. It may be unhealthy for you to go cold turkey right now, this instant. I can't go out there and say, I'm just giving up meat today and I'm gonna run 8 miles today. You're gonna get a call according in the hospital, because you can't just do it all at once, right? Give me a week. Take a week not listening to Young Boy, whatever you listening to, right? Take a week not listening to anything talking about that, and start to look around you and realize how so much just don't make sense to you, right? I'm only telling you this because I had done it myself, right? Y'all ever know what I listen to more than anything? It ain't that. Love it, come from it. I got a few songs myself telling y'all to do some dumb shit. I really do, right? So it take a while for you to realize, but you know better, you do better, right? We got to start knowing better. If you see a kid doing something dumb, tell them, stop him. If you see a kid doing something dumb and you condone it, and then you think about it later and say, nah, I told him to do something dumb, and you all right with it, well, you need to be the one out there on the front line shooting this stuff. Because most of y'all sending them out there like crash dummies to do something that you wouldn't even do, right? So you do me a favor and you run out there on the front line. You run out there and do what they've been doing. It's rough, but the only way it's gonna get better if we help change it, right? Because just letting them kill each other, saying, hey man, that's them over there. It's them over there today, till you at the grocery store with your kids and it gets shot up. You at the mall with your kids and it gets shot up, one of your children get hit. Now it ain't just over there, right? That's how serious it could be. We all have children there. We have parents there. We have grandparents. We have cousins, nieces, whatever. It can affect you. And one other thing, I'm not gonna say a name, but I know some kids, I've seen some posts over this year and recently, as recently as yesterday, with some kids whom I personally know have both parents who have done all they can do. Some of the parents own businesses, right? Taught them right from wrong, then gave them the example to follow. They making the same post. They little extendos out, pointed at the camera, stuffed off in it. It ain't just the ones in the hood, ain't just the ones without father figures. Some of them gonna be collateral damage just because they see that, they have access to it, and part of me and Edgar gets excited about some of that stuff. It's in you. But if you let that side take over, we talk about that all the time, it will destroy everything. So watch your kids, even y'all who doing the right thing. Watch them. Now, if you get a certain age and you want to go out there and do what you want to do, go ahead. Don't uphold them though. Don't you when they get into some trouble shooting at somebody, hard as it might be, you tell the officer, go on, take them. Don't bond them out. Now you get them a lawyer, you can fight it. Let them sit in there a while. Sometimes the best medicine is for you to bump your head and have to ice your own knot. Right? You know what I'm saying? Your son getting older. It's certain stuff you're gonna tell him, no, don't jump off that. No, don't jump off that. Right? He gonna jump off of it. At least gonna run over there to cradle him, and you're gonna tell her, leave him alone. Shut up crying, because I told you stop jumping out. Now you feel that pain, sit in it. You know what Nova won't do? He ain't gonna jump off that no more. He might jump off something else, but he gonna remember that. You know what I'm saying? Because if you keep upholding, you keep getting them out of stuff, sooner or later you're gonna get into something you can't get them out of. That's how that works. We got to be more diligent about it. We can't just say, oh, well, I'm in Ohio now, so I ain't got to worry about it. You can't just say I'm in Dallas. I ain't got to worry about that. You can't just say I stay on the other side of town. I ain't got to worry about that. Oh, my kid, an honor roll student. I ain't got to. Yes, you do. It's up to all of us. We used to say it takes a village. Some people don't want a village to raise their children. I'm willing to fight you. Right? If I got to tell your child he's wrong and you don't like it, point blank, period. I'm willing to do that. Because if we don't, our children gonna have to grow up in a world that's a war zone. Mine gonna be more equipped for it than yours, I can tell you that. And you don't even, these kids don't even, we grew up around weapons. We grew up around guns. I would say I probably shot guns if it was 7 days in a week. 4 days out of each week coming up, I was shooting some, practicing, right? All kind of different calibers. Y'all ain't even, y'all out here with AR-15s and 308s and big guns that y'all don't even practice shooting. And you wonder why a whole crowd of people get hit. You don't even know how to handle it, right? You doing something you think look cool, and you start from, and then y'all got automatic. Y'all start from the ground to the air. And you shot 10 people, except the cat you wanted to shoot. Now somebody got to deal with that. Just take a little time to think, man. People, y'all catch our kids making these posts and stuff. Get on their ass. I got one I'm about to tune up in this inbox as soon as I get through with this recording. Tune them up, because he know better. That's just what it is. We got to do more of that, though. Don't think, oh, he ain't going to listen to me. He too far gone. Try it. Just try it out and see. Never know. But until we do that, we'll be making these kind of Lit Code episodes. We'll be seeing faces on T-shirts. We'll be making RIP posts until we do something about it. That's how it's going to be. That's the season we in, until we bring forth another.
I don't know, man. It's sad, man. It is, dude, because most of my family's still back down the crib. You know, it's probably a handful of us, and our family has moved away, but the majority of our family is still down that way. You know what I'm saying? And that's my. I stated that earlier. That's one of my concerns. And I got friends still down there. That's gotten older. Now they got kids that's moved on in life, and My concern is it's going to end up being happening to some people that ain't got nothing to do with nothing in that situation that's going on at all. Something got to change, bro. It has to. It has to, because at the rate it's going right now, that it ain't gonna be nothing that we want to look forward to.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm actually interested. We've been talking a lot about this these past couple of days of seeing who we could sit down and chat with in regards of going home and having that conversation. Not just having a conversation, but trying to put something in place that gives these youngsters something to do, man. You know what I'm saying? Something else they can look forward to. So, obviously, if you listen to this, when you listen to this episode, you somebody from my hometown, we looking for some feedback, some advice, or something you maybe have thought about, because this really is impacting our entire community. You know what I'm saying? You think about, dude, in bigger cities, when there's a death or something that's going on, it don't hit that city like that because there's so many people, so many things that's going on. But, where we come from, man, when things are happening the way it's happening right now, it's like our town kind of takes a pause for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's something that's talked about a lot because people still down there back at home still cherish relationships. They cherish family. They look forward to seeing certain individuals and seeing each other. And, it's the same town that when you go to a high school football game, everybody at the high school game, the town doggone probably shut down because everybody goes to the game. So it's still a small time feeling. So, yeah.
It's rough. I don't like it. I don't like having to talk about it so much. But I can't lie and say I hadn't been talking about it with people for over a year now, seeing the trajectory, seeing the signs, seeing where it's leading to. Right. My nephew was also one that got hit in this shooting that took Logan's son. So it ain't like it don't have nothing to do with me. It can hit right in the house. You know what I'm saying? For his mother to have to call my wife 2-3 in the morning, outdone, because her one of her youngest sons shot. You know what I'm saying? That's rough. That's rough, but we have a job to do on our end when we see them spiraling out of control and heading towards that type of crash. That's basically what they're heading to. It's like I said before in our previous episode, we wouldn't send the kids out there on the interstate their first time driving alone and tell them, hey, this one's for stop and this one's for go. This is signal light. And when you want to go fast, you just hit this one real hard. All right. We know they're gonna crash. We wouldn't send them out there like that. When we driving along with them, we see them doing something crazy in their car. What do we do? Don't do that. Stop, hit your brakes. Nope, you're going too fast. We give them instruction along the way, right? We tell them, and we so adamant about it because we know that vehicle can equal life or death for everybody in it or just them and somebody else. This ain't no different. We send them out there every day and we letting them do this stuff. We don't say nothing. No, don't do it like this, son. No, that ain't cool. Nuh-uh, stop. Now you moving too fast. We don't tell them none of that like we would if we was in our car. We value that car, right? That car costs a lot of money. We don't want them to wreck it. And then we don't want them to hurt themselves. But you're going to let them crash out. And you can't pay for them. Ain't no amount of money. Elgin know a lot of rich people. I do too. when they had deaths in their family, I ain't never seen one of them buy their family member back. Can't happen. You can't replace that. You replace a car all day, you got insurance on. You put insurance on your loved one, you'll get a check. You ain't gonna get them back. Right? Ain't no bringing them back. And for a child to be dying at 16, 17, 19, 20, 25, those ages, man, that's young, right? At one point in time, we thought it wasn't. Now we know that's young. Or for a child to sit there at 17 and the judge tell them, well, we're giving you 75 years, a life without parole. You can't even fathom that. You ain't been alive 20. Again, that's the other side of this. One, if you go over here and shoot somebody, they got family. Somebody might want to come shoot you. Two, every time somebody shoots somebody else, the judge need one too. It's two gone at a time, right? Again, the whole time, everybody getting paid except your family. We losing, right? Everybody around you getting paid off of this. They getting paid off us killing each other like that. Right? They getting paid off us pushing the narrative that it's okay and it's cool and that's what we're supposed to do. They give 1 or 2 cats some money. 4 million aspire to be this one cat that they giving the money to that's crashing out, and they crash out behind him, but they don't have nearly the amount of money he got. So he get in trouble, he might get out. Make some more music to tell y'all do some more stupid stuff, and y'all follow suit. Do something else. There are plenty of examples out here of people who took other routes, Black people, Black men and women, that took other routes and extremely successful. Right? I know some of you cats, young cats that hustle back home. Let's say you did your thing, you hustled up and you made you 40 band this year. You could have made that at Walmart, McDonald's. In the day, it'd been a whole lot safer doing it. I tell you that. Let's say you make 80 or 100. Could have made that on the pipeline times 2. Been a lot safer doing it. Still got some off time. You make that 100 and you go to jail for 10. Somebody gonna spend it for you. You gotta get out and start all over again. In that 10 years, that cat at Walmart and McDonald's, he steady was making his money. It's all a mental trap. That's the thing about it. That's the final thing I want to say is mental. We always talk about mindset, mentality. It's mental. The change, the reason we on autopilot is mental. Our mindset has to be that we're valuable. We have to realize how valuable we are. We have to step back and look at things, take ourselves out of it and say, hey, this is stupid. Maybe I ought to do something else. Until your mindset changes though, as long as we continue to let some of this music, some of the stuff on social media, some of the stuff these kids watch, if we keep letting that set the mindset for us, we will be having another episode like this again. Maybe next week, maybe a month from now, but it happened again, unfortunately. I just want y'all to understand that. Don't cry why when you know why. You say always end in why. When you're looking at the why behind the way every day, you're looking at the way your kids behaving, the way they act and what they watching, and you busy doing your thing, so you a cool parent. They just being kids. They'll just be in jail or just be dead. And you'll just have to deal with it. Don't wait till it's too late to step up. Because we know Logan. I know he ain't tell his kids to do nothing foolish. Right? He can't get them back. 2 kids in a year. 2 in a year. Both under 30. Both well under 30. One still in his teens. One early 20s. Same outcome, same reason. Gun violence. In some places shouldn't have been doing some stuff they shouldn't have been doing, maybe. Outcome was still it wasn't just a fight. Somebody died because whoever on the other side, and maybe them too, had a certain mindset that was bred and spawned by the quote unquote culture, the hip hop culture now. Our rap culture has changed so much. It's gory, it's violent. As long as you promote that. You know, the Bible verses begets. It's a word begets. Just means, you know, such and such beget whoever. This means they created them and gave birth to. Violence begets more violence. Darkness begets more darkness. What you put in, we always said, whatever you taking in gonna come out. So we keep taking it in, that's what we're gonna display, right? Just be careful out there, man. Watch yourselves. Step up. If it's wrong, call it out. We gotta do better. We gotta do something. And I'm gonna do my part, whether people think it's gonna work or not, whether it works or not. I'm gonna try it out. Cause my son gotta grow up and live in it, whether I like it or not. That's all I got, man.
Well, this is the Lit Code, man. We out of here. Thank y'all so much for checking this out. We appreciate it. Yeah, thank y'all.
Later.